Hello, this is Newslive on Viewer Television. I am Joy Malik. We begin with the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari submits revised 2022 framework to House of Representatives. The People's Democratic Party Committee OK sanctions for troublesome members assigned to conduct primaries plus. Ex-Burkina Faso president backs life imprisonment for killing revolutionary leader Thomas Sankara. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari says he will await the final outcome of the constitutional review process before presenting the report of the review of the vertical revenue allocation formula to the National Assembly as a bill for enactment. Now, the President stated this on Thursday in Abuja while receiving the report by the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission led by Elias Mba. He assured members of the commission that the federal government would immediately subject the report to its internal review and approve processes while awaiting finalization of the efforts by the National Assembly. Now, according to the President, this strategy, rather than issuing an executive modification order, as was done in 1992, is more in line with entrenching our democratic tenets. And on national security, the Nigerian Senate has considered a bill to establish the National Religious Harmony Commission. The National Religious Harmony Commission Bill 2022, sponsored by Senator Sadiq Suleiman, scaled second reading during plenary on Wednesday. The report.
Leading the debate on the general principles of the bill, Umar said the legislation seeks to establish the National Religious Harmony Commission to serve as an intervention to promote tolerance, peace, and harmony in the country. The lawmaker explained that the UN Charter seeks the promotion and respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms for all without distinction to race, sex, language, or religion. He noted that such principle is equally embedded in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
As amended, are based on the principles of dignity and equality of human beings and seek, among other basic objectives, the promotion and respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms for all without distinction as to race, sex, language, or religion. Having realized the sensitive role of religion in national security, peace, and harmony, the federal government wishes to promote interreligious harmony and understanding due to the checkered history of religious intolerance in Nigerian polity.
The bill, after consideration, was referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters for legislative input. The committee has 4 weeks to report back.
A bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Religious Harmony Commission and for other matters connected thereto, 2022 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters for further legislative action to report back within 4 weeks. Leader of the Senate.
In a related development, a bill seeking to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act to establish the Federal College of Education, Arochukwu, Abia State, by converting the existing College of Education, Technical, Arochukwu, to a Federal College of Education, also scaled through second reading. The bill was sponsored by Senator Oji Uzo Kalu, representing Abia North. The bill has been referred to the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Tech Fund for further work. The committee is given 4 weeks to report back.
And on the Preparation Act, President Muhammadu Buhari has submitted to the House of Representatives to revise the fiscal framework for consideration to enable amendments of the 2022 Preparation Act. Now, in the communication read by the Speaker, Femi Bajabamila, at the commencement of plenary, the federal government is seeking adjustment to some of the parameters of the budget. The projected oil price benchmark as contained in the request has been increased by $11 per barrel from $62 to $73 per barrel. The President explained that this adjustment to the 2022 Appropriation Act became necessary due to new development in the global and domestic economy, such as hikes in the price of crude oil aggravated by the Russia-Ukraine war.
by 965.42 billion to 7.35 trillion, representing 3.99% of GDP. The incremental deficit will be financed by new borrowings from the domestic market.
The House of Representatives has observed that the reassignment of dormant and inactive phone lines by telecommunication companies without recourse to previous owners has led to breach of privacy. Now, he explained that Nigerians have fallen victims to illegal withdrawals from their account because their banks keep sending transaction details to the previous phone numbers, which have been reassigned to new subscribers. The House therefore passed a resolution mandating its Committee on Telecommunications and Committee on Banking and Currency to look into issues of breach of privacy and identity theft.
Concerns that in spite of the regulatory frameworks in existence, the occurrence of a breach of privacy cases of fraud and consequently financial loss are on the increase. Also concerns that many Nigerians are falling victim to illegal and unauthorized deduction of funds from their bank accounts because their financial institutions keep sending their bank account transaction details into their Itato phone numbers, which have been reassigned to new subscribers, thus opening a dangerous window for fraudulent activities.
Now, the House of Representatives has raised concern on the devastating oil spill that occurred from an indigenous oil firm's well in some federal constituency of Delta State. Now, the lawmaker representing Okpe Sapele Federal Constituency Affair informed that the House that the spillage could have been averted if corn oil had not breached the environmental compliance guidelines as stipulated by ISO 14001, which mandates all license holders, operators, serving companies to adopt a systematic and integrated management plan discharge to the environment. Now, it equally urged the National Emergency Management Agency to send relief materials to the affected communities to caution the effects of the spillage.
Of this community concerned the agrarian community, fishing communities. It has affected the economic activities of these communities in the two local government areas. They can no longer go to their farms because the land has been contaminated. Their waters have been contaminated. Fishing is zero, they can no longer fish. So we are calling on the oil companies and other relevant agencies to carry out a cleanup exercise, and also so that the communities can carry out their daily activities of farming and fishing, and also for adequate compensation to be paid, because this period that this has happened to, when the environment is cleaned, they will be jobless. They will be depending on nothing. So we are praying this House to call on the oil company and NNPC, because it's like a joint venture, to carry out a cleanup exercise. And before then, the Committee of Upstream and Environment to go for visitation to see things for themselves.
Sequel to the declaration from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation to award contracts to Oweizide Ekpomi Polo Northern Youth Group, and Northern Youth Group under the aegis of Iowa Youth Assembly has called on the management of NNPC to not award any contract to the ex-militant leader popularly known as Government Tompolo. The group made the call at the press conference in Kaduna. According to the group Deputy Speaker Abdulsalam Kazim, entrusting the most viable source of revenue to the Niger Delta ex-militant Government Tompolo will be a great mistake.
The youth of Northern Region, Tompolo is on the same radar with terrorists like Abubakar Sheko, Bello Turji, Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igboho, Mohammed Yusuf, among many others, who see nothing good in this country, rather clamor for destruction, disregarding its unity and showing maximum disrespect for the rule of law and government of the day. We therefore, as a matter of national urgency, advise, beg, call and plead with the NMPC Limited to save our national assets by not awarding it to Tampolo, as the effect will be delicious to the nation economy. If, on the other hand, this contract is awarded to him, terrorists like Bello Turji, Nnamdi Kanu, and the rest will be looking to get the contract of securing the presidential villa of Nigeria. The first family and the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria should take note of this.
When Newslive returns, National Emergency Management Agency's Director General approves creation of Anti-Corruption Transparency Unit. Details of these and more comes to you right after the break. Do stay tuned.
Working in viewer television as a news anchor has been a wonderful experience, and it just continues to get better and better for me. It's a wonderful experience. All the team, we make sure that we come together, we put our head together, and make sure that news is delivered on time. My favorite news time is the primetime news that comes 8 p.m. where we have news reports from all over the world put together for your own consumption. It's really taxing, but it's very enjoyable. And I must say, you should keep watching viewer television right here on Startimes platform, channel 191.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Newslive on Viewer Television. Now a recap of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari submits revised 2022 framework to House of Representatives. The People's Democratic Party Committee okays sanctions for troublesome members assigned to conduct primaries. Plus, ex-Burkina Faso president backs life imprisonment for killing revolutionary leader Thomas Sankara. Yahaya has visited ongoing road work in Gombe State. The governor's inspection tour drew large crowds who came to praise him for delivering such projects so near to their homes. Now, Christopher Luca, one of our correspondents, went on the inspection trail and files in this report.
This 4.3-kilometer road begins from Angwen Idi, winds past Angwa Uku and continues all the way to Malam Inna. Previously, these communities had trouble connecting to the city center, which explains their outpouring of gratitude to their benefactor Inwa Yahaya, who lifted the curse for them. Keeping the ambitious Network 1100 project alive and active, Governor Inwa Yahaya says his government's priority of bringing succor to the masses remains sacrosanct.
We don't differentiate. This road, inshallah, will go with street lights, will go with trees around so that they can beautify the environment and protect the environment as well. And equally, it will go with other social services like water, and we shall make sure